Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have a very bad prediction to make, and I hope that I'm wrong. But the indicators point to that direction in my head. Now, I don't know if what I'm going to say makes sense or you think is valid or not. But this Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the never candidate of the Democratic Party or Democrat Party to the presidency, I guarantee you that, if by impossibility gets elected somehow as the President of the United States of America, and he tries to implement what he says that he wants to implement or to do, I predict that he will end up very bad. And very bad meaning look back in history to some of his relatives. These guys will not allow that. That being what he wants to implement. I'm going to show you this article, which he is touching a forbidden subject, hard money, or backed by hard assets, money. You can't have that. You can't have that. The banking system has to manipulate shit. They have nothing covered. Let me show you this article from Sputnik. This comes from today, July 19th, 2023. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. floats plan to back dollar with Bitcoin and end taxes on conversions. You say, well, Bitcoin, what are you talking about, Emil? Wait. Sputnik chose to use only Bitcoin in the title, but it's not only Bitcoin. Robert F. Kennedy is following in his father's and uncle's footsteps by seeking the Democratic Party presidential nomination. He will never get it. But the heir to the political dynasty has attacked sitting President Joe Biden's proxy conflict with Russia in Ukraine and now takes aim at the unlimited virtual creation of fiat currencies. Look at, my friends, I told you, Executive Order 11110. Instituted by, signed by his uncle, J.F. Kennedy. Go and look and read a little bit over there. He talks about some issuing some money backed by... Some people say that was one reason why Kennedy did not smile in 1964. So, U.S. presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has said he will underpin the dollar with more solid assets, including Bitcoin. Kennedy, the nephew of assassinated President John F. Kennedy, is mounting an outsider challenge to incumbent Joe Biden for the Democratic Party presidential nomination in 2024 election. Speaking at an event organized by the Heal the Divide Political Action Committee, PAC, on Tuesday, Kennedy outlined some unorthodox ideas for shoring up the value of Treasury bills, government-issued short-term investment securities. Here you have it, my friends, here. My plan would be, and I'm quoting, my plan would be to start very small. Perhaps 1% of issued T-bills would be backed by hard currency, by gold, we love gold, silver, platinum, or Bitcoin. End quote. Kennedy said, wow. Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency on the market since its launch in 2009 by an enigmatic developer, or developers known as Satoshi Nakamoto, is not backed by gold reserves or a national economy and constitutes to fluctuate wildly in value. So that's not a hard currency. However, its creators have set a final limit on how many of the virtual crypto coins will be in circulation, preventing their debasement. Backing up, and I'm quoting, backing dollars and US debt obligations with hard assets could help restore strength back to the dollar, rein in inflation, and usher in a new era of American financial stability, peace, and prosperity. End quote. Hoorah! The Democrat argued. Now here, he also made a rare... They're going to use even Kennedy's. He also made a rare argument against the use of fiat money, currencies not backed by gold or other commodities, as the greenback has been since 1971, when President Richard Nixon took it off the gold standard and then became the petrodollar. Now, Kennedy's late uncle JFK, and I'm quoting, understood the importance of hard currency and the dangers of having pure fiat currency with no other option, end quote, he said. And I'm quoting again, he understood the relationship between fiat currency and war, and also this giant aggregation of wealth and the unbalance, the disparities in wealth that are the ultimate yield of every fiat currency, end quote. And I'm quoting, fiat currency was invented to fund wars, end quote, Kennedy stressed. And I'm quoting Kennedy again, I like base currencies because they make it more difficult. You have to go to the public. You can't just print money to fund the war and tax the public through the hidden tax or of inflation, end quote. Well, non-taxable events are unreportable, and that means it will be more difficult for governments to weaponize currency against free speech, which, as many of you know, is one of my principal objectives. So, Kennedy also pledged, just to talk about this, it was kind of like out of context. Kennedy also pledged that if elected, his administration would end the current policy of charging capital gains tax on Bitcoin transactions when holders cash in for dollar. He contradicted Securities and Exchange Commission's chairman Gary Gensler by insisting that Bitcoin, I'm quoting, is not a security and should not be regulated as one, end quote, and promised to, and I'm quoting, put an end to the current policies of the Biden administration that are invited by Choke Point 2.0 to punish banks that are dealing with Bitcoin. The Democratic primary candidate argued the benefits of that move would include facilitating innovation and spurring investment, ensuring citizen privacy, incentivizing ventures to grow their businesses and tech jobs in the United States rather than in Singapore, Switzerland, Germany, and Portugal. Well, my friends, this guy is not going to smile for too long, if you know what I mean. That's why Kennedy did not smile in 1964. Well, I'm all for a hard currency. The Russians actually have a big gold stash. The Chinese supposedly are crazy about piling their gold. You can say, so this guy is just a guy who's on their payroll or something. No, my friends, I agree with what he says to about 90%. And what I disagree with is kind of like idealistic. But he has to, that's how he sells his policies, making it, how do you call it, consumable by more people. So that's why he said, well, we can end wars, we can have peace, we can have prosperity, all these words, like we all gonna have it. Okay, yeah, that's, I think, not in his part. I know why he's doing that. He has to. He's not going to say, well, it's going to be part of us, they're going to have it, and part of you are not going to have it. He can't say that. He says, we're all going to have prosperity. Yes, I think it's going to be a more just and more or less weasel-like economic system, and with all these bankers that, can you imagine? You are at their whim. It's unbelievable. The banks are the bosses somehow, and they don't produce anything. They get the money, and then the money that you produce. Without you and the businesses, the banks would die. As I said many times, this analogy with the Old Testament, with the Bible, scriptures, with the man and the rib. The man and then the rib. God, sleep well, Adam, and took the rib and created the woman. Now, the man, when he woke up without a rib, which we have all the ribs, But anyway, without the rib, he survived. And anatomically and physiologically and medically, we can survive without a few ribs. Just fine. Maybe we have some problems doing certain things, but no dangerous move. Now a rib, if you take it out of an organism, living organism, it's going to just go into putrefaction. It's going to be disintegrate. Now the rib is the bank, and we and the businesses are the host, the body, the organism. And somehow the rib is more important than the organism. The banks tell you, no, we're not going to give you, no. You go and ask them, because the whole system, not the whole system, but a system is created in such a way that you need investments. You need more and more and more. And where are you going to go? Why? Because you get investments, and then what? Oh, we're going to expand. We're going to give work for... You spend money that you don't have. Remember, it used to be before, where you had your income comes with cash, and that's it. No, at least where I come from. No credit cards, nothing like that. And that created more personal responsibility in how you deal with your money. Right now, I have 1,000 credit cards. And then the bills, done with that. But before, you got 10 bills of $100, that was it. No more, no less. Less if you don't plan. Personal responsibility, it seems like these guys are just trying to get us to an infantile level. Like a child over there. They are teaching us, they are keeping us safe, they are giving us jobs, the government, they are telling us how to drive, tell us how long to drive, they're gonna do that. Carbon emission, you can drive this, they tell us, like we tell our children, small children, what to do. Well, I disagree with that. Those guys are not smarter than me. I know they're more weasel than me, but that doesn't mean that if I sit down a little bit and think about it, I will not find their little weasel ways. You know, like when I went to buy a car, the dealership, I had a salesperson over there. He was talking fast. Take it easy. Slow down, buddy. And I knew he's not smarter than me. He knows things I don't know, but before I went over there, I just did my homework. I did not know everything, or as much as he knew. I know that one, because I don't know how much the let's say Ford, the company, sold or gave them the car for. I will never find that out. All I know is how much he asks me. I can calculate about, I don't know, this percentage of this probably, but I will never know that. He knows. So he knows how much he can bargain. I don't. Like people will tell me, hey Emil, how much would you give for that? This is my answer. Nothing. I want it for free. And they're like, they try to get you like, no, I want it for free, for $1. That's my expectation. How much you have it for sale? And then he has to say something. He can say, well, 3 million. You, bye-bye. You're going to have your little shit over there, going somewhere else. If there is somewhere else. If not, you have a monopoly, my friends. Government monopoly. That's dangerous. So, you are smart. They are faster. They did this many times in their lives. You didn't. But doesn't mean you can't catch them, because you're smart. You're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. You just need the information. Just educate a little bit. Clip, 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 clip. And they're not very deep at all. And they speak fast. Pak, 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 pak. Why? It's like if you watch a chess match. That's how you call it, match, chess, game. You know, you have over there, the first, 20 moves are like pak, 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 and then hop. Bum, bum, dum, bum, bum. The longer it gets, the slower the frequency between moves are going to be. Or again, pak, 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 boop. Another little knot over there. They have to think about it, because they haven't encountered that before. But everything else, they encounter it. The same with the salesperson. And then when you ask a question, he's like a novice. He's like, he ignores that and jumps again on his, don't look over there, look at me. All right, and this is what these wizards are doing. With their economy, with their Federal Reserve Bank, there's nothing federal about it, with the fiat money, with the banks having so much power, too big to fail. No, you're never too big to fail. If I don't make my payments for certain things, they take them away. Bye-bye, Emil. There's not going to be anybody, and I don't expect anybody to pay for my bad decisions or bad luck. Maybe help me and I repay it. CM, that's a bank. No, we can figure things out differently. Banks have too much power. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe gold, platinum, silver dollar. Well, Bitcoin, I don't know. I don't know about Bitcoin enough to say anything, but to me, and I'm a novice on Bitcoin, I read, but I was like, this sounds to me very speculative. And it depends a lot. I'm not giving advice because I don't know anything. That's my dumb assessment. And it's really because it's not controllable at this time by the governments. They're not going to come in the forefront of our economies. Once they start being recognized and regulated, that means the government will know everything about it and they will take their share out of it, then you can use Bitcoins. You'll see, little by little, but under the government's monitoring, because they know best. They're good people over there. They know what we want. We don't know what we want. We're just tards. Thank you very much for being me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.